Hey guys, Bobby Red Hill Tactical bringing to you another knife of the week. This right here is absolutely one of my favorite knives pretty much ever made. And the price point's pretty amazing. Like, I mean, we all have customs. We all have, a lot of us have in the shop Curtis's or Medfords or stuff like that that are, $500, $600, $700 pocket knives. This knife right here still remains one of my favorites to this day. This is the Microtech Socom Elite. This, in my opinion, is pretty much the epitome of what a heavy-use, heavy-duty pocket knife should be. So let me break down to you why I think Anthony Marfione has one of the best pocket knives made today. So this features an aluminum frame. Front and rear scales are aluminum. Both sides have this really nice, heavily textured insert in them. The front side has the heavy texture, the back side does not. Back side features your pocket clip. So the one thing that I don't like is this is a tip down, but I tend to use this more on like a molly gear than I do in my pocket, so that works for me. You can see the full aluminum frame connects in the back, so you don't need a separate spacer. Again, really nice design, minimalizes the number of pieces involved in this, okay? So that's that part. So let's go from the frame. The next thing is he included a really nice breaker. The glass breaker on this is small, it's unobtrusive, it's not something that's going to stick out, it's not something that's going to jab you, poke you, cut your clothes, scratch you, etc., etc. As some breakers can get rather large on, like some of the breakers they used to call like the blood grabbers on some of the autos. They were pretty pointy. So that's the outside. That's kind of the important parts. This one, all the ones we have here in the store are black. They make many, many other colors. I'm hoping we get more colors in shortly. The blade. So this is what they call the standard blade. A lot of their blades use the two-tone look. This is not a two-tone DLC. This is a black coating on it. It's not a DLC. It's very important to remember. So it will wear, some of the black coating will wear as you use it. This particular model is partially serrated. As you can see, these are still all serial numbered. They are all stamped with the manufacturer date. Socom Elite, Microtech, and made in USA, which is extremely important to me. These knives, I have a handful of the partially serrated. I have a handful of plain edge that are the stone washed here in stock, so super huge fan of that particular model. Blade steels. So the one thing that's going on is we have an interesting time finding certain blade steels. Some have become harder and harder to get. If you pick up a Microtech somewhere and you're looking at it, they always label the blade steel down on the edge of the blade right near the pivot. So this is the M390. All the ones we have in right now are M390. So it makes it a very super heavy duty use steel. This is also a liner lock. So down here on this backside, the spring and lock mechanism is attached to the body, the frame. And when you look down inside, you can see the heavy duty liner lock that is they adjust it from the factory. You can see screws in there that adjust the lock face so they get a perfect lockup. That's one of the things that makes this such a great knife. This knife has probably the best lockup of anything that I've ever put my hands on. Especially when you start looking at the frame lock or the liner lock versus the frame lock. So the other thing with this knife, I'm not a flipper. I'm just not. I don't do that. I don't know how to get my finger in there and flick it like everybody else does. I'm just not that special. I'm a thumb stud operator. So this has very nice ambidextrous thumb studs, and it gives you a very smooth action on the blade. Microtech really pioneered the idea of the blade being a very smooth blade and free falling. Everybody talks about pivots, everybody talks about all this other craziness, and Microtech just did it right, and they did it a long time ago. This is an old design, but one of the best designs, one of the beefiest knives on the market. I have a lot of them in stock. We were lucky. We finally got our hands on them. I've not had Socom Elites in here for almost 2 years. So come on by the shop, put your hands on a Socom Elite, feel what I think is one of the best knives on the market. 13024 Pennsylvania Avenue, redhilltactical.com. Have a great one.